They changed the town's permit?
No, they didn't change the town.
Okay.
But they changed, it was just too hard, they thought, to fit, a driveway with a big enough radius for trucks to deliver on that side of the road. So they cut a deal with the state, but didn't tell us to deliver.
Recording in progress.
Not the inside, but the INN side.
So say there is a serious problem there. The state's gonna take full responsibility.
I don't know yet. I haven't spoken to everybody at the state to know. What
Would you make a separate file so the select board can have it?
Yep.
Let me have a question for Will. I noticed in the email that there is an inspection based on as built, completed as built. Is that the state's requirement? Does the state do that inspection before they finally authorize, or is that up to you or
No, that's the
or
state
the town?
for the
It
driveway.
is, so they still have to do an as-built inspection before the final okay, correct?
I believe that's correct.
Okay. Verification, thank you.
So, maybe you could send the state guy a copy of the permits that they have. It's a fine line we're walking here because that's a state highway. And
I don't know, I don't disagree, I'm reverting back to the town giving them permission to do what they're doing there. I'm taking the state out of thing, and when they accepted the permit, they accepted some conditions with that permit, which was no parking on the road. I'm not saying anything about the state, I'm saying the town is in many areas, and this is where it's starting to seem to me, it's the haves and the have-nots. If you have enough money to hire a lawyer and scare the zoning administrator, you can basically do what you want. I mean, he's built a building there, and I think what he's thinking is the town will just say, well, he's already spent this much money. The last I knew, they didn't even have a septic permit there. And so the DRB probably should know what the rules are in zoning bylaws, because that bakery would have required a 12 by 40.
It did on
parking.
the site plan that was approved had one.
Right, so do they have that there? And they won't let you go and measure. So what was the answer to that question? Do they have the parking?
Not now. They don't have the loading zone that was in the site plan.
Right. So
Because they made a deal with someone at the state, but not with the town, to move it across the street. So I would like to talk to that person before seeing what the next step is.
And Will, I noticed when the appraisers came around, they had this nice little gadget. You just run it out of the building and it tells you the length and stuff. You might want one of them.
They've already admitted to you that the building's bigger than it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I only have tiny little site plans and I can't tell exactly. I talked to a very nice engineer who said it's only 2 feet longer. So
Well, it's only 2 feet, but you let them get away with that. What are they gonna try and get away with next time?
That encroached on their loading area, possibly. I mean, that's exactly what he's doing. I'll build it and nobody will hold my feet to the fire.
well, I mean, he had his feet held to the fire on the laundry, so he knows that's a possibility.
What does that mean? He had his feet out of the fire of the laundry.
He tried to open up a laundry on Lawrence Hill Road for the hotel.
Oh.
Without a state permit or a town permit.
So you're going to check with the state as to what permissions they, what deals they made, and then we'll find out more information after that.
Yeah. And, you know, there's gonna have to be a new, an amended permit. The question is whether it's gonna take, a hearing or not. And
Well, I guess my question,
Mark Pickering's email of August 7th said, I've attached a copy of the issued permit for your reference. The permit has no subscription regulation, location of deliveries, nor did any conversation of the nature. V-Trans understands that deliveries would happen on site.
yeah, then someone else at the state still told them something else, so let me get to the bottom of that. And actually, I think the engineering company is quite decent, but they may be, you know, they're limited in what they can, you know, they're working for the end, so they're not gonna.
I guess my final question is, why do any of us bother to show up here if people up in the state are just gonna override and write blank permission slips?
Yeah, I think even if they have permission to deliver on the other side of the road, I think it's gonna take an amended permit. I mean, I would insist on an amended permit.
Then what happens if, people show up and complain and it doesn't get approved?
You mean citizens or
Yeah.
lawyers?
Citizens.
I don't see that bringing a big crowd of people with torches and pitchforks, unless there's some people just really dying for some, but
Is that gonna be a new permit to the DRB? Because they've changed the whole site plan?
I would think so, yes. Or an amended permit.
Okay, just interested to know how it's gonna have to go back to the DRB.
And so I'll finally end up what you said in the first place.
Well,
Oh,
at
I've spent so much money and they'll just write it
The
off.
public will get that from comment, and then the permit that they were issued is, I mean, it's pretty readily available, and then it was sent to me, so.
But I have a question, so because of this, because the permits have to be re-amended, if they're going to be, that pushes back the opening of the bakery until it's, right? I mean, it's like they can't just open unless it's been,
We don't have a formal certificate of occupancy in Weston. Maybe it's something we should consider in the bylaw rewrite, but I can give them a notice of violation for opening.
okay.
Anything more on this?
I'm good, if you guys are good on the road for me, so.
If everybody's happy with that, then, we'll move on to public comment. Is there any public comment? So I'm gonna assume you're John Hurd, sir?
I am. So my mom, yeah, I just wanted to come and introduce myself to the board and interested citizens. I'm the new recycling coordinator. I've taken over for Esther. She's still around, so.
Big shoes to fill.
It is big shoes to fill, yeah. Big shoes for a part-time job. So yeah, I'm just basically here to introduce myself, see if you guys had any thoughts, comments, concerns that I should take under consideration.
Just not happy that one person moves in and down and they shut down the burning of brush.
Yep. That predates me, but yeah, that makes, I mean, it's from what I've heard, that fire was going 24/7
Not all the time,
all the time, but yeah.
not all the time.
It was only tiny, I mean, it was not like a bonfire kind of thing, you know, it was smoldering. Did you say there were one person down? Is that what you just said?
No, I said one person come in town, bought house across the road and got the whole thing shut down.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh, it is a bummer.
There was a
Cause
complaint to the EPA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
One thing, it does open up some more space and hopefully some more time for the transfer station guys. So we can get some more stuff happening up there.
Open space for what?
I know, I mean, without that burn, without that fire having to go, that they changed and regraded that back area back there. Place to get more compost type stuff going, like the leaving yard waste.
Mhm.
That kind of-
Well, isn't that down Ryan Steve kinda?
Yes,
Yeah,
kind of,
already.
already, there's a
There it is,
huge,
yeah.
huge old pile down there. I
Right.
need to go look, so we're gonna come, there was gonna pull it all out of there. Makes more room.
When do you start, or have you already
I
started?
have started middle of July.
Oh, okay, great.
Is your phone number on the website?
It is.
Cause I call Esther a lot.
Yep, it's actually the town office, the Londonderry Town Office Extension 110. Should
Okay,
bring to myself.
okay.
Don't tell them they can do that.
I can still bring to Esther's home phone, so. Yeah.
Thank you, good to meet you.
good luck.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming.
Nice to meet all of you.
Yeah, great.
Another person taking this thankless job.
No, thank you, thank you for
Yeah.
taking the
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Oh, let's see, we got number 6 here, somebody's gonna be here for the Route 100 thing.
Someone was supposed to be here from V-Trans.
Alright, for right now, we'll table that and we'll go to delinquent tax collector.
Okay. Okay, I was going to, my first thing is I'm going to make a request. I'm gonna request, and this was not in the job description, nor was I told this when I was hired, that I'm responsible for postage. Postage and envelopes. I'm going to request that the town cover that because I can't, and I won't.
Do you have an estimate of how much that would be?
Well, Kim said it could be up to $50 a month. Well, when we were talking about, yes, you did.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. Any of it's a lot of money. But it's like, when we first send out, we just sent out 10.
Right, at
And that was
73 cents each.
78 for me.
Well, if you're asking the town to pay for it, we do pay.
Right, right. Okay. I thought it was
And
74.
envelopes are not that expensive, but
Right.
I did start you off with some
Some,
from here that are prepaid.
we did it prepaid, stamp.
So if I can interject, I don't know why, but it has always been the responsibility of the elected collector of delinquent taxes to take care of their office supplies, so we've often given people paper. There will be probably 40 or 50 letters that go out initially and then it ramps up
That's what?
down quickly.
Down.
But you do have to send out reminder letters often, and
And why is that the responsibility of the tax collector, the delinquent
know.
tax collector?
they just are always paid
Because they
fees and
pay
they
like-
take care of their own office supplies in the past.
Right.
I'm just saying that's what it's been for whatever reason, and they do receive anywhere from 10 to 15,000. Last year it was $18,000 in fees.
Mhm.
So, but it's entirely up to you.
Well, I was also not told any amount of money. I just was told it was gonna be whatever was collected. So I'm not counting on anything right now. And who knows what's gonna happen with the tax bills. I may be one. What happens if I'm one that can't pay my taxes and I'm delinquent?
Same as Stan.
supposed to be here, but they're not.
We can discuss that and see what you wanna do about it, folks. What do you,
Boy.
I mean, the question is, where does the money come from?
you're talking maybe $150, $200 a year, cause after the initial burst of delinquent taxes, it goes down.
Where exactly does like the money, so like, where is the money taken out of, like what part of, like, for the town to be?
Usually when we run into a situation like this where it's small amount of money, we take it out of selectmen's budget, and then the next year when we budget, we put it in the proper
Okay.
category. Jeff?
I think she said that she wasn't guaranteed any money. But she is guaranteed her money. We got delinquent taxes and they're a day late, she's already guaranteed money.
Not if you can't
There's not a
collect
dollar amount.
You sell the land, a tax and you get your money.
2 years, year or two later, I got it.
I'm just saying, I think that's why it was written like that, it's, 18, 15 to, let's say 15 to 20,000.
I guess I'm surprised that the delinquent tax collector is responsible for her own office supplies, and it's not that much money, and I think that we should cover it.
I
I
agree,
think the town should cover it. I mean,
Yeah,
just
no
seeing,
problem.
it's a town business.
totally agree.
She's doing work for the town. It should be covered by the town, I believe. And I understand that she gets, there's no salary on
It's a
top of the percentage that you get for collection of the taxes. So I mean, I just,
Well, I've had a couple of jobs and I've never had to pay postage or office supplies.
well, you should be a school teacher. Anyway, I
Somebody should make a motion.
I'll make a motion to cover the cost of postage for the delinquent tax collector. For,
taxes and office supplies.
and office supplies. Thank you, yeah, and office supplies, to. Do I have to, in part of the motion, to be taken out of the select boards? I mean, how does that? Just question, do I have to put that in the motion as well? As to like where the money is coming from?
Well, I've got a question for Kim. If she's sending out stuff, can we run it through the meter? Okay, so,
It just goes through our town office budget for postage.
alright,
Okay,
And we didn't budget for that, but I still think it's a nominal amount.
okay,
so
so,
just say we're gonna cover the,
we're gonna cover the, we'll cover the, office supplies and postage, out of the town office budget.
Second,
further discussion. All those in favor?
I,
Okay. Alright, now we're going on to the, okay,
Can I go on
Yep.
with something?
yeah.
Because you asked me if I was gonna take the job, that was the whole thing, that was a part of it. But, and I have come to 2 trainings with Kim, and then, I had family visiting, so I've kind of, goofed off the last couple of, the last week or so. But I think I'm getting the hang of it, I'm trying to get the hang of it. I'm working on it, I still have to call Linda Crandall. And she has some stuff that she needs to pass on to me. The one thing, we need to revise the delinquent tax collection policy. I sent an email from the lawyer. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. And I was a little confused about what he said. I basically thought it was the $1,500 instead of $1,000. We have $1,000 limit. They have to owe 1,000. This is to go to sale. they have to owe $1,000. It was changed by the state to $1,500, and it has to be more than a year. We have $1,000, which needs to be changed, but we already have that it's more than a year. The other thing he mentioned in the email was about, it requires a reasonable repayment plan offered that considers the taxpayer's income situation, previous payment history, amount owed, period of delinquency, and reasons offered by the taxpayer. I'm pretty sure in the manual, there was something about those kind of things. I don't really understand, sorry. Often collectors just do not have this information, and so a payment plan is offered. I don't know what that means. What does it mean to anybody else? Because
To me, it offers, if I owe X number of dollars on delinquent tax, I divide that number by 12 and say, this is your monthly payment to get caught up to speed before the new tax comes out and you're further in debt.
right, no, I get that part. What I think.
You don't understand the sentence. I don't understand the sentence
think-
either.
I-
No way to
thank
understand it every time.
No.
I think what they're saying, he's saying is that oftentimes you don't have access without them divulging it to their
Right.
income,
Okay,
and whatever else was
Right.
mentioned in there. And a lot of times people don't want to give you their income information. We've run into that with the BOA. However, you are in a position to make up however you feel you can, a payment plan.
Oh,
okay.
so the suggestion is that if you had that information, income situation, payment history, amount owed, period of delinquency, et cetera, you might forgive the taxes, you might demand the taxes, you might do any number of things, but because a delinquent tax collector doesn't have that information, then they just sort of offer, not sort of, they offer a plan, a payment plan.
Start with a number.
That's, yeah,
And I
right.
think it's only the Board of Abatement that can waive
Taxes.
taxes,
Okay.
penalty and interest.
I see.
So,
Okay, but the delinquent tax collector could go to the Board of Abatement and say.
or the individual does.
I read, and it might not be right, I mean, I read it in the manual, that I, as the tax collector, can forgive the penalty.
Yes, because that's.
Penalties, that's your money,
That's your money.
Right,
but not the taxes.
that's why I was saying, I was thinking before, if I'm delinquent, well, I'm gonna forgive. What does somebody do? Yeah, because I'm just paying myself anyhow.
Anyhow,
So, is this,
There is another threshold that you can get information, I believe. And I think there's a report issued to the town clerk when the tax bill is written and they get their rebate from the state based on income.
yeah, I don't get anything that shows me how that's calculated. I just get
Yeah.
the bottom line credit amount.
Yeah, but
Someone's-
they have to, there's a threshold.
Yeah, yes.
And if they meet the threshold, they get a credit, so you know they're below that X. line.
115,
If
something like
They
that.
don't get a tax credit, you know they're above that,
Correct,
so that would play at least I think a little factor
yeah,
in,
Yeah, give you some barometer.
right.
what I'm trying to drive at, because from the looks of this delinquent tax bill here, there might be one or two that would be above the minimum.
Easily.
You get what I'm driving at?
So
Gretchen?
if there's a threshold for, or you wouldn't get it, unless you're under that threshold, you wouldn't get the credit that
Right.
the state gives you. And so you're saying that if you know what that, if you pay attention to that,
If they get a credit, then, you can question their income and stuff.
right,
If they don't get a credit, then
they're
they should
above
be
it,
able to pay.
or they should be able to pay it, okay. Okay, I'll take that certainly,
so I am, ignorant about what our delinquent tax collection policy is, and you've suggested at least one change to it. Can I ask that you maybe, and then there's this possibility that our policy does not include this information about how a payment plan is offered or what the,
That was just enacted this year, July 1st.
okay,
So I think we
Right.
just haven't caught up.
Right,
we haven't caught up. What does that mean?
But in,
This law was in
Oh, the
July.
law, yes, right, that, yeah, I knew that. So, could you, put together some wording that suggests what changes we need to make to our policy and come back to us?
I can work on it maybe. I'm not real good at that stuff, and I did ask the lawyer and he returned this email. I sent him per Kim, send it to him and see if anything has changed. And he immediately said that $1,500 has changed in the year. The one thing, it was recommended, you and I saw it somewhere, I think it was Nemmer. It's recommended to include the policy with the tax bill.
right, and was it the current tax bill or the delinquent tax bill?
I think it's the current, I think it's with every tax bill. It's recommended to
Include the
send it.
policy.
I thought
But
you
those tax bills
guys,
are going out, right?
Like, hopefully by Thursday.
Ah,
We just, that's not enough
yeah.
time, yeah.
and I thought you guys were in charge of writing this, so
I was just gonna ask for suggestions,
Okay,
that's all.
yeah.
Because I don't know really because I don't know what the policy is now. I don't know what needs to be changed other than the $1,500. Does the other part need to be changed? That is how, under what circumstances a payment plan is offered?
honestly not sure.
I don't remember that being
I
mentioned.
don't think it's in.
So,
Partial payments can be applied, the $1,500 is easy enough, because you just change the number from 1,000 to $1,500, but you guys have to okay it. That's in.
Okay, so
There's a lot of information in here that tells them what the law is, with all those weird numbers and stuff. So,
what weird numbers?
the name of the law.
Yes,
BSA,
title,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah,
Oh,
statute
yeah, right.
number.
Statute.
Okay, statute
Can
number.
I just
discussion.
make a suggestion that, Shauna, I'm sure you knew that was coming, just scan it, I'll switch it to a Word document, and it can be potentially some easy changes that can be brought to you for approval.
Thank you.
Thank you, that's it, I
Thank you.
didn't understand that, that's the usual
That's all we
process.
do.
Great,
So
Thank you,
can I
Shauna.
just ask, so we're not gonna send them out with the tax bill?
I wanna double check that. We've got 3/4 of them stuffed already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, and
Okay.
yeah, today. So, I just wanna double check.
Okay,
Because I
Okay.
don't, on one hand, I know people will be late, but on the other hand, I don't wanna offend people, like, how would you feel if you got a delinquent tax notice? with your
Before
early
you
tax?
paid my taxes.
Before you were late, so,
well,
so maybe it's not a good
I
idea.
don't know, I just wanna.
It's not a requirement, it was suggested.
I'll take it under advisement if I may.
Or can we put it on the website?
It is already on
Oh,
the
okay,
website.
all right,
It's
just-
not updated.
Okay, or,
I thought it was just, they were just asking for a notice that said, this is what happens if you're late.
Yeah, and we have that. I just
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
prepared to put in the whole delinquent tax
Oh, I
policy.
see, okay, great,
Especially
Alright.
since it's not updated.
yep, good.
I would
Agree
think
with
that if
that.
you're
Thank
gonna do the delinquent tax policy, you print it down report. That should cover it. Because if you start printing the whole thing and putting it in every envelope, that's gonna cost you a lot of money plus extra postage.
You get 5 pages before you have to keep it.
And I'm not saying,
Just saying.
I'm not saying we should do it,
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's something I ran across. I'm running across a lot of things that I'm still trying to figure out.
Sure, that's fair.
I just thought it was important to mention it. and-
Yeah, I do know that it should go out with the delinquent tax notices. And I do know that a couple of people ago, it was definitely done that way.
Okay.
And I think that that's valid along with a copy of their current tax bill, which is.
And I agree, yeah.
But we'll be working on that.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you,
Roger?
Shauna. No, that's it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, V-Trans has joined.
And that's item
Six.
6.
Yes.
Okay. You're here to talk about your closing Route 100? I think I made it.
Hi, can you hear us?
Can now.
Okay, great. Mahendra, did you want to?
No, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Spera. I'm with Gill Engineering. We're the design consultant working with V-Trans on the culvert replacement project. So we just are here to present our project to you. And sorry, I just sent a request. Oh, good. I think I can share my screen now with you. Yeah, so we want to share the project and hear your feedback and you know what you think about it. Let me get that. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. All right, well, thank you for having us today. I know you have a really busy agenda, so I will try to keep this brief. Start with some introductions here. On the call tonight, we have Mahendra Thiliar. He is the project manager with V-Trans. I'm Amy Spera. I'm the project manager with Gill Engineering. And Caitlin Berner is on the call. She's the project design lead, also with Gill Engineering. Okay, so a little bit about the project. The existing culvert is located in the southern part of Weston, about half a mile north of the intersection of Route 100 and Boynton Road, or Town Highway 36. And the current concrete box culvert is deteriorated and undersized. So that's causing overtopping during heavy rains, which leads to roadway damage. So that's why V-Trans is doing this culvert replacement project. The main purpose is to replace the insufficient culvert with a larger precast concrete box culvert. And this new culvert will be on a slightly different alignment, and that's to improve the hydraulic performance. The approach roadways and the roadway over the new structure will be reconstructed, and the guardrail will be replaced. The existing culvert is 10 feet wide by 7 feet high. It's hydraulically undersized, which is what leads to the overtopping during those heavy rains. The channel itself also makes a sharp turn to enter and exit the culvert, and that causes a lot of erosion on the roadway embankment. The concrete head wall and the wing walls at the outlet have large areas of concrete spalling. And the project itself, the site itself, is relatively unconstrained right now, but there is a Green Mountain Power project that's planned in the works to install overhead wires along the east edge of the road. Right now, the overhead wires stop like just before the culvert, just south of our culvert. And so those will continue across. So the proposed scope of work is a very similar replacement structure. It's going to be a precast concrete box culvert. It'll just have a larger hydraulic opening. So in red on the screen here, that's the precast concrete. And the culvert, as I mentioned, will be on a new alignment, which will better match the desired path of the channel. Construction activities will include excavation, removal of the existing concrete, placement of precast pieces using a crane and an excavator, backfill, and paving. So during construction, the roadway will have to be closed for a limited amount of time for a full closure on the order of 1 week. On the screen here is the state-signed detour route, which is 27 miles long. But the local bypass route, thankfully, is significantly shorter at 2.5 miles. So this is the detour route that would be in place for 1 week, a full closure at the culvert. During which, oh,
Sorry, could you, it's really hard to tell from the map. What are the roads that are
Oh, yep, you're right. It is a little tricky. So it looks like it's Dale Road down to, sorry, Caitlin, can you read it better?
It's Piper Hill
Piper
Road
Hill.
to Old
Piper Hill
Town.
Road. Okay. Yep. Yep.
To Old Tavern.
That's not the detour.
That's not.
That's the local bypass, right?
That's for local.
That's the
detour.
local bypass. That won't be signed. We won't be directing trucks down that way.
Just be local traffic.
Local traffic, correct. Yep. And that's for 1 week. During which time the contractor will be constructing enough of the new culvert so that they can open the roadway back up to a single lane of traffic. So it'll be 1 lane of alternating direction with a temporary traffic signal. And during this stage, the contractor will complete the construction of the remainder of the structure, the side slope grading, and the roadway. And then it will be reopened to typical 2-way traffic. So
I'm sorry,
we are.
how long was it going to be the single lane?
So that would be on the order of a month. Yep.
Thank you.
We're still firming that up in the spec. But. Construction's anticipated to occur during the 2027 construction season. The season is defined as April 1st through November 15th. And then the short-term closure, again, for the construction of the culvert under the roadway has a duration of 7 days. So that's like a very brief rundown of the project. We'd love to hear your thoughts and hear any questions and concerns.
What is the full length of the project is estimated to be? Like where would it start? Like, for example, you're saying like start in April, but like what is your idea, like your projected time?
Yeah. So, normally, and we do have, some control over that too. The contract can include specific dates. But typically what we find would be April would not be like the heavy construction work. Actually, is this going to have time of year restrictions? I believe this is a cold water fishery. So really the in-water work and the bulk of the work would be happening after July 1st. We believe. So it'd be like the summer months.
Okay. And I just forgot my other question.
Sorry.
No, I just forgot my other question.
And it would take about a month or a month and a half.
Oh, and also, you're saying that after that, there will be Green Mountain Power being putting in poles and.
That's ahead of us, actually. Yeah, from what we know, the last we've heard about Green Mountain.
I thought that was referring to another thing that was happening. Okay.
No,
Right.
That would be ahead of us.
All right.
It'd be similar to the project when the state rebuilt the bridge north of Weston. They had a detour for local traffic and the big trucks and commercial traffic went around. And all this is another section. Local traffic will use back roads. Major truck traffic will go out to Chester and over.
Oh, is that the 23-mile detour would be through Chester?
Yeah, from Ludlow to Chester to Londonderry.
Yeah.
Here. It should be right in,
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So this is on tap for next summer?
It's actually on track for 2027.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 years out.
2 years out. There's a possibility, I think, Mahendra, that I'm gonna see what can happen to pull it sooner, but I think 2027 is the schedule right now.
Yeah, we are advertising this project with 2 other culvert projects in Londonderry, and all those 3 projects will be done by one contractor. So we are trying to do 2 projects: the Londonderry projects, the first year 26, and this one in 27. But if the contractor up to do all 3 in 1 year, that's fine with us. We will allow that. but there's a rare chance to that to happen. It's too much for the contractor to do all three projects in one year.
So we're looking at 27, outside chance of 26. I
Yeah.
myself, I don't have any questions on anything. Pretty cut and dried.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agree.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You as well. Take care.
All right, so I guess our next one is number 8, zoning, Little Goodwin fee schedule and secular subdivision.
Hello. That's it here.
Yes, please.
Let's start with the fee schedule, because that's simple. We currently don't have any fees. Oh, yeah. We currently don't have any fees for permanent extensions or permanent amendments, and we have to record those, so it costs $15 to record them, so I was thinking a fee of $25 would be reasonable.
Is there an extra one there?
For permit extensions?
And amendments.
Oh, right, I see.
Can I ask a question, I will?
Yes.
So, if we had to do like a site plan amendment, is that what you're talking about? That would be a permanent?
No, if there's a hearing that has to be, in the paper, it would be $150. But this would be just for an administrative permit amendment.
So, because I'm like up under the, where it says permits up above, where it says permits requiring a hearing. So that's multifamily, commercial, or variance.
Yes.
So that would be site plan amendment would go up there too?
If it requires a hearing, we should really have something in the bylaws that specifies what commercial permit, how they can be amended. It's actually state law, that we should have rules when a permit can be amended administratively.
For conditional use in that section?
Yes.
Sorry, where was that?
It goes up here, permits requiring a hearing.
Yep. I do have one more question on this. So will there, subdivisions, there's major subdivision with 2 asterisks and residential development with 2 asterisks. So I guess I'm assuming that one dot below is the 2 asterisks that apply to those 2 sections.
That's a good question. I will find out where the 2 asterisks went.
And also, so what I'm gathering is that language in the box at the bottom, that covers an applicant that would have to pay any required third-party review fees, like a lawyer or an engineer.
Yes.
For the town or just for the? Pay our.
So they must pay to the town.
To the town. The town is required to.
So is your question answered on who's paying what?
I mean, this seems to say that if, in connection with the subdivision, if we have to go to our subdivision regulations, and there are certain sections within our subdivision regulations that specifically require a lawyer or the town attorney
and or an engineer to do review of certain things. So I'm assuming, and there's nothing in our subdivision regulations that says that they have to reimburse us, or, it doesn't say anything about who pays what. And you also have to remember that the subdivision regulations were adopted in like 1972 and haven't been revised since then, so I'm not surprised they don't cover this kind of stuff. But I think one of the things Annie and I are here because we wanna protect the town. And particularly in subdivisions, there is a lot of required engineering and lawyers' time. And we wanna make sure that applicant needs to pay for those, not us. And Kim can assess how much has been spent on the subdivisions over the last couple of years.
It was tremendous when the Little Pond Road subdivision and the secular subdivision were and Lindgren. So, I can run those reports if you want me to go do that.
And the town pays those?
Tens of thousands of dollars.
Town pays.
Yes. Because there wasn't a provision to push them,
So that's not, this is.
although I now that I
Right.
I haven't seen this thing in a really long time, so it seems like
I think we added that a few years ago.
That was added recently at the request of the select board.
so I don't know when this got added, so I don't know, because we didn't
Post.
21.
post those.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jeff?
Says revised May 11th.
If I'm correct. Mr. Hart would tell us, I think if we look long and hard in either planning commission or the zoning, there is actually a spot in there that the developer is responsible for the engineering fees. And if their engineers come up with a plan and our engineer review it, it's supposed to be reimbursed to the town.
There is a fee for the final inspection.
I believe, I can't put my hands on it tonight, but I believe there's something that talks about that in great detail.
So maybe a little research is needed.
Would I be able to find that in the town plan? Would that be part of, no,
No.
That would be more a bylaw thing.
bylaw thing, okay.
Just really would like it to not be a town expense, because it was an unexpected cost to the town that we really weren't prepared for, and I think we were lucky we had a surplus that year, because it was thousands of dollars.
So Will, are you looking for approval of these fees?
All I was looking for was approval of the permit extensions and permit amendments. But I will change that, make that other change where it says permits required at a hearing includes conditional use. And I didn't have a word copy of this, that's why I probably couldn't, I didn't get what the two asterisks mean. It's probably,
That's probably in the bottom of something.
probably in the bottom of the word doc.
So could I just ask that before you guys approve this, that we might take a look at Bill's proposed other language, because I'm interested to know how this other language fits, this other proposed language on his first page fits with, fits with this language, again, this language here,
What are you looking at?
I haven't seen, it's not, you don't have it. I don't have it.
oh, well, that's what Shauna gave me.
I think it's,
That I just printed off. The
Okay.
town.
No,
No, it's not, it's
Yeah, yeah.
different.
No, that's just the section on,
That was from the July 22nd meeting.
yes. And that's just 3 lines from the Londonderry bylaws that I thought should be added to the Weston bylaws about.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
that's-
because the one thing that was confusing to me about this section was that, I know you guys don't have it, but it requires that before we can actually hire a lawyer or hire an accountant, we have to notify the applicant that we're doing so. And that seems like an onerous position on
Because
the.
we're asking them to pay for it, right? Is that, that's the intent, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but if it's in there that they're supposed to pay for it, this would be like sometimes we might need a lawyer to ask or answer a question that we don't know the answer to, but it's not gonna be paid for by the applicant, because it's just general
Okay, then we,
stuff that we don't know how to deal with. So we actually do have, as part of our zoning DRB budget, we have a, a small amount of money in there for legal fees.
sure.
But that begs the question also of like, can we just access that, or do we actually have to come to the select board to access that? Or what? So I mean, this whole sort of area is,
Great.
yes.
I have a question about this, changing of the bylaws. How legal is it for us to sit here and change bylaws without a public vote from the voters? I mean, what I'm asking is, they approved at a public vote existing laws, and now we're talking about changing to the existing laws without them having a voice or vote in what we're doing on that. I mean, I understand you folks are in the process of rewriting a lot of stuff, but I question whether it's legal to make changes to the bylaw without general public.
I was gonna say, I think, if I'm not mistaken, last year in July, the state changed it, so the select board can make the changes, but they have to follow the procedure in having public meetings to get public input before that, but it no longer has to be an Australian ballot or the whole town to make those changes, which is what it was before. Please verify that, but I'm quite sure that that's what
I think so, yeah, but I just wanted to add to what, I think you're right, but I just wanted to add to what you said, Danny, because you make an interesting point, which is, should we be talking even here about zoning regulation changes without having a warned public meeting? And that would be one of the times where you would call your lawyer and say, can we do this?
Just thinking that's it, yeah.
That's
Sure.
the kind of thing that sometimes we need to ask Merrill Bent about, because we don't really know the answer. So you raise a good question, but I didn't realize, I apologize, I didn't realize that this language about fees on this other page was not really on the agenda for tonight, and just this was on the agenda for tonight.
So,
But I do think because this is not part of zoning regulations, fees I think are separate and can be done by the select board, but I don't know, that would again be a question for Merrill Bent.
Alright, why don't we do it this way? Why don't a little research be done? And if bylaw changes, if they should go through the planning commission and then, now, gonna have to have the hearings and stuff. They'll handle it. The fees, we can ask Merrill Bent, and if she gives us the go-ahead, we can adopt them at our next meeting. Just covering our butt. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that you can change them. I don't think there's any need to consult with Merrill. To change the fees.
But also is the question of like, are we allowed to talk about these possible changes about having an expressed public thing? Do I have to talk, do we have to ask Merrill about that too?
Well, we're not talking about zoning regulation changes, because I was wrong to bring that up, because I didn't.
Oh, okay, all right.
So we're really just talking about the fees tonight. And
But you guys can do whatever you want on the fees, if you wanna approve them tonight. So, I just voiced my opinion on them.
I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I mean, I have a motion from July 22nd meeting. I saying that Jim Linville moved to approve the $25 permit extension and permit amendment fee.
So we've already done.
So we've already,
Yeah,
so it's already in.
I'm pretty sure I sent you the email, but I can resend.
So we've already done that
Did it get seconded
and voted on,
Approved.
yes.
Seconded by Linda and approved. Select board discuss clarifying the zoning and driveway permitting process.
Oh, yeah.
Thought I pasted it out and sent it to you, Will, I apologize if I didn't.
So what's left to your question?
On the secular subdivision,
Okay,
a little low-tech, PowerPoint for you. Too many.
It's okay.
First item, there's 3 items about the secular subdivision. The plat plan. Plat plan says
We have one
the,
over here, if you have an extra.
You have an extra?
We do have
We have an extra. Here, I'll take this.
bunch of, oh, that's all one thing.
Here, you can have, Annie.
oh, it's all in one packet, that's why I'm confusing myself. So for the road width, both of Old Tavern Road and in the subdivision, the final plat says the road is gonna be, what it was approved 18 feet wide. The letter, we did another subdivision recently that actually touches the secular subdivision where the DRB said the roads had to be, I can't remember, but they asked for a waiver to get it down to 20 feet. The Weston subdivision regulations say a road should be 22 feet wide. And the town road construction policy says we follow state guidelines, which say a road should be 24 feet wide.
That's a question for you.
Yes.
If my memory's not too fogged, the roadway coming in from Andover Road down to the secular property is all in Andover.
I think there's 100 feet or so in Weston. I'd have to go look at the site plan.
So I think what we're saying, other ones that are showing, sounds to me like the planning commission, DRB approved something that they really don't have the authority to approve because any work in the highway needs an access permit, any work in the town highway needs an access permit. And that permit is not granted by the DRB or the planning commission or any of that. So that subdivision stating that the DRB approved something, they had no authority to approve that work being done in that road.
Well, there was a vote on September 28th, 2010. Motion made by Daryl Hart and seconded by Shirley Knowlton to approve improvements on a class 4 road on Old Tavern Road from Weston to the Andover line, 260 feet, I'm sorry. I'm not sure that's I'm not sure that's the legal way to approve the upgrade of the class 4 road.
Yeah, and then so the town policy says that they are to meet,
No work can be commenced without a signed agreement from the select board.
yeah,
Before commencing, the landowner shall agree to sign and deliver a select board a letter in which they promise to assure that all the requirements for signage, work safety, public safety, and law or reasonable prudence will be adhered to. And when the job is finished, the select board has to be notified in writing. So there's this policy on how to approve an upgrade to class 4 highway, and I don't think it was strictly followed.
they have, so they're supposed to meet A76 standards and B70.
which is 24 feet.
That's what it says in the towns.
Sort of jumping around here in my packet. So I just need to know if that's all. What are we gonna do about the road width and what are we gonna do about upgrading the class 4 road? One more issue, if I can just find where I put it. Oh, and the other issue is the bond. There was a decision made to postpone bonding all this work until there was a new buyer for the property. But the current DRB says, well, if they're gonna build infrastructure, they don't have to have a bond. They're just not, the final plat is already approved and signed and in the vault. But we can still not give them any building permits until all the infrastructure is done. And then the other question is inspections. They're required to come up with an estimate of the total costs so we can come up with their inspection fee, which is a percentage of that. And to do that, we need to know the road width. So it comes back around to the front. So there's a lot of moving parts. I don't know if you have questions.
So might I just give like a little bit more
Yeah,
history?
please.
Yeah.
Okay, this subdivision dates to, I don't know what,
2010.
2010. At a time when subdivisions were done by the planning commission, not the development review board. So we didn't have anything to do with that. It's the other group.
Not me, not my fault.
And also what it means also is, I don't really know very much about this, but anyway. So at the time, it was, I'm gathering, piecing back to look to see what happened. As Will said, it was approved. There's a final plat and it's in the vault. Under our subdivision regulations, before you get final plat approval, but I don't know that happened, one of two things has to happen. And this is to protect the public, the buyers,
This is on the next to last page.
and the town. And so what it says
That's
is
the one that you gave us.
before you get final approval of the subdivision, you have to build all the required improvements. If there's a road, if there's a road to the subdivision, a road within the subdivision, whether there's any septic systems,
There's
whether
a
there's
fire tank and
fire tank, a fire plant,
stormwater treatment.
all of those things have to be built before you actually get your final say so and can sell lots, okay? What happens is, and it also has to be built to the satisfaction of the town engineer, okay? So if they were supposed to build a road according to their specs with this much gravel and this much hoo-ha and stuff, they have to do that. And the town engineer has to sign off on that. And this kind of goes back to that question of who pays for what, okay? What our subdivision regulations say that in lieu of you, the developer, having to do all that stuff, we, the town, will let you get final approval, provided that you put a bond up for the cost of all of those required improvements. So if there were, in the case of Seckler, I believe there's a driveway in, a road in, a shared septic system and monument. So there's 4 things that are required. They either have to do that, the developer has to do that to our engineer's satisfaction, or the select board can grant getting a bond to them for the cost plus some contingencies, et cetera, of all those improvements. So you would have to get the applicant to tell you the cost of all those improvements. You'd have to get our engineer to say, oh, that's reasonable or that's not reasonable. Then they say, okay, we'll get a bond. Then they come to you to, you know, figure out like, because you're the bonding people. So then they get a bond and then you have to set the terms of the bond. And usually, I think our subdivision regulations require that the bond has to be fulfilled. The terms of the bond have to be fulfilled within 2 years, or the town then has to come in and do the work. So you don't want that, you don't want to do that. That's why you want to get this stuff done, preferably before you grant the permit. And preferably, in my view, prior to getting a bond, you know, and this is one of the reasons that we agonized around Little Pond for so long. They wanted to put up a bond, but they really didn't really want to.
They did want to put up a bond, but they didn't want to do the work.
But they didn't want to do the work either. So with Seckler, they're willing to do the work. But what Will's getting at here is, what is the work? What is the parameters of the work they have to do?
And that, so sorry, so you're talking about this like required improvements, so the road construction, and then it goes back into like, is it gonna be 24 feet, right?
Right, plus they have to put in a shared septic system and they have to put in a road within the subdivision.
I don't think we can change the width of the road at this point.
I don't know why not. Daryl, when the motion was made to approve them to put in a road, it doesn't say 18 feet wide and it's that.
Right, but
Town standards say
it's the site plan that was approved says 18 feet.
that was approved by the planning commission, not
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so there's an instance where we need a lawyer to say whether we're bound by that site plan.
Like this one done in 2011, you're talking about this one?
Yes,
Okay,
but I would say that, and if you look on page 2, there's notes from the site plan that say total minimum roadway width shall be 18 feet. Total roadway width includes both travelway and shoulders, so that's even narrower than 18 feet. So, I mean, should I go ahead and ask the lawyer if we're bound to that 18 feet?
I think you better.
yeah,
I say that planning commission approval, but there's still other state and local permits that you need. Kind of just as Sharp's permit for the bakery says, just because you got the granted one permit doesn't exempt them from all other town and local permits.
Oh, and just so that, again, just so that the select board knows, what it is that this was approved, as we said, in 2010. And now somebody wants to buy the approved subdivision. And so, and they actually, I mean, they came in and my impression was they want to do the right thing. They're not really 100% sure what the right thing is. So we're trying to help them.
I think, well, they have a site plan and they just want to confirm that the site plan is the right thing. I mean, and I'm not sure we have the right to say it isn't.
But we're gonna find that out, right?
Yes.
The only thing, you talk about bond, not a bond, I've actually had some conversations, I've had bonds myself. And on a project of this scale and this magnitude, and this is probably just for down the road, I would suggest that there be a bond taken on a project like this. Because what happens if somebody buys a bond and they leave that project, they don't buy a bond and they leave that project half done, they go bankrupt, they go something.
Well,
And
that's
now
what
you're-
our lawyer, John Stasny, says.
Now you're holding the bag because you didn't get a bond and you're saying, now, from what I was told as a bond, an owner of the bond was that if I didn't fulfill my side of what I was supposed to do through the bonding company, that they would either hire a contractor to go in there because there's money enough to pay to finish the work. money enough to do the work. And that's where a bond comes in. And if you have good credit, and that's the trouble when you start dealing with LLCs and all that stuff, but I had a bond that was for $100,000 on one particular thing. It cost me $100 a year. So it's not an outrageous fee to ensure, if you have good credit, that the work gets done, that meets the engineer standards. If they don't pay you for the engineer, you go to the bonding company and say, this was part of what they were supposed to pay. You guys held a bond for them, and you basically call them no.
Well, and one of the other things too is like, we're sitting here 15 years later, trying to figure out what to do because it didn't get finished 15 years ago.
So
You
that's,
know,
and I was on the board, I see my name on, and like, and stuff when I was talking about this, so. I know that I probably was as that close as somebody, but, I know what the town driveway policy and road policy says, and it says that any road needs to meet this standard. So I'm just telling you what the policy says.
So the one issue that doesn't require the lawyer, I think, and that is, do you wanna go through the formal, I guess it doesn't involve the lawyer, because it involves the width, the formal process for approving the upgrade of the class 4 section. On the page for that. We've done an index for the whole thing, I guess. All this.
If you're driving class 4 highways, is that what you want?
Yeah,
No. A little more than halfway through.
do we wanna go through all of this again, or is it settled?
I guess I haven't seen it.
So you're talking about this one before commencing work, the landowner shall agree to sign and deliver.
Yeah, all we have, as far as I know, is a voice vote at a select board meeting.
I'm not clear on what you're asking, sorry, if we should.
Whether it's decided, whether that's all settled, or whether we need to start that process
This
now.
policy,
No, not the policy, for the secular subdivision
oh, okay.
in particular. Obviously, it should have been settled before the final plat was recorded.
Do we need to make a
Everybody's-
decision on this right now?
Pardon?
Do we need to make a decision on this right now?
They wanna hear from me about the width of the road more than anything else, but I would like at the same time to tell them that whether the upgraded class 4 road is officially approved. And
It's not.
Do we need to talk to the lawyer first?
Okay.
Do we need to talk to the lawyer first?
About the length, width of the road.
About the width, so we have to talk to the lawyer first about the width of the road, and then we can go from there.
That's what I would think.
It seems like there's gonna have to be a little, wait until we talk and then
Well, that's the
reconvene.
width, but this is about improving.
And there is one other issue, is that there is a neighbor who was sent a bunch of emails, but I really don't think they have any standing because the appeal period ended 14 years ago. So-
Yeah.
Two or three of the things he's raising, we have nothing to,
Right, there's a lot of them are
it's all,
state things.
all state thing.
I'll put it in the file with everything else.
Two or three of them issues is septic related and we don't have anything to do with it.
So do you agree that the approval of upgrading the class 4 road has not been settled?
Yeah, it's not been settled. We need to talk to the lawyer
Okay.
first.
So everything goes to the lawyer.
Are they coming in from Old Tavern or from?
Marshall.
Marsh. Okay, so they're in Andover then, because that's.
Yeah, but
That's Vale Road on
there's 260 feet
feet of our stuff.
of our stuff.
What did Andover ask them to do?
I've heard rumors that Andover said, do whatever you want. And,
You know, I think I heard rumors that settlers paid Andover a fee to come off of Marsh Hill Road.
heard that sort of thing.
Having all the traffic then comes Marshall to Dale.
Yeah, the rest, the end of Old Tavern will still be impassable.
And then this thing that you just handed me.
So then they would have to, people in Old Tavern would have to go up, go to be able to get out.
22 feet wide.
They have to go across. They would, aren't you in Old Tavern?
I'm sorry.
Aren't you in Old Tavern?
No, I'm not Dale Road.
Oh, you're on Dale Road, so right there, though, they have to go down and then down to be able to,
I understood that,
Yeah.
but
to be able to get to the main, to get to 100.
they do the Dale to Marsh, which becomes, Dale becomes Marshall.
Right.
So that's how they'll get from Weston to.
Oh, yeah.
Dale becomes Marsh Hill at the end of the line, right? I see. Okay.
So what we're saying is essentially, instead of being accessed through Old Tavern, it's accessed through Dale
Right,
and around.
yes.
And that would be, okay, yeah.
What is the class, what class 4 road are we talking about?
Are we talking about the
It-
24,
right now,
24
it's
foot?
called Old Tavern.
Sounds
So
like
it's the
same
extension of Old
as-
Tavern Road that's on GPS
Go
maps
out,
that doesn't
down,
really exist.
down,
Yes.
It's a footpath through the
Becomes
woods.
Marsh.
Yes,
That.
it actually should be a legal trail, not a class 4 road, I think.
Does that go into the concert?
There.
Yeah, I mean, if it goes into a
So from this
legal trail, what it should be, doesn't that, I mean, not that we have a conservation commission, but doesn't that go to the conservation commission?
Oh,
If, I'm just curious.
No, I think it's more a select board thing.
Oh, that's a select board thing, okay.
I think it's still a class 4 road. Will, you had a bunch of minutes there. Do you have the minutes from September 11th meeting?
What happened to September?
Oh, just an LSP block of blueprints with changes made as suggested by the select board on September 11th. So I was wondering what the suggestion.
What year? Is that 10?
10.
That's when they changed, I believe, from it being accessed from Old Tavern Road to it being accessed from Marshall.
There's a lot of discussion about that whole thing, and like I say, if I remember right, it finally boiled down to settlers are just gonna pay Andover a lump sum of money to use that short section of road. And I myself, I don't remember going down 260 feet on Old Tavern, but I don't remember everything.
And so if I'm reading this right, vote is 4-1. Gerald Hart, yes, Jeff Hirsch, no. Sure. So just bear with me. Maybe I'm not reading this right. Jeff Hirsch, no. Shirley Knowlton, no. Bob Johnson, no. Danny Benson, no.
Right, so that,
So it wasn't approved.
but then the next page says that you made a motion. First Beat Engineering to send deed restrictions and copy blueprints to town engineer, if approved by the town engineer there, the select board has issued a yes vote. So I guess we sort of need to know if the town engineer
Yeah, ever approved anything.
ever approved anything, right?
So it wasn't an approved thing, it was voted down. And there was motion made by me, but
I should have caught that, but you should see how much paperwork.
I'm trying to find one here, so.
Well, and with all due respect to Will and everything, it's been a lot of work to just go back and recreate
Oh, sure.
this
yeah.
from
15 years.
years ago.
Yeah.
I'm trying to recreate my memory.
Not everybody who was there remembers it. All right, so I know what my homework is. I gotta take all this to the lawyer and I will report to the owners based on what the lawyer said.
Great.
Normally once, and now I really, I'm understanding why you don't file the final plat until everything is settled, because the final plat is supposedly legal and forever.
And theoretically,
They couldn't.
once you have
anyway.
a final plat, you theoretically are supposed to be allowed to start selling lots.
But if you're saying they can't get a final till the work is done,
Well, we
Well,
can,
no, they got, I don't know, it's,
I'm just saying, what
we can deny building permits if there's no infrastructure.
right. So there's no road in.
I would literally go to who was the town was using Bruno Associates at that point. I mean,
See what
before
they
you go going too deep into the lawyer, I would just, this motion that I made says, Chief Engineering to send deed restrictions and copy of the blueprints to town engineer Bruno Associates for approval. F approved by the town engineer, the select board has issued a yes vote. F approved by the engineer.
I mean, it might say on the plat, but I don't know.
I can't read that.
Oh,
What's that?
oh, well, that's the section of the subdivision regulations dealing with.
I think we have a lot of questions for Will to find some answers for.
Yeah.
It's been slow permit wise, so.
Great.
Only
Thank
done
you.
6 permits this year, so.
Great.
All right, you need me for anything else?
I guess not.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you very much, Will.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you. Have a good night.
Well, if I do it wrong and
I need more information before I'm done.
We can't, there's nothing we can do. There's discrepancy on what is the regulation that we need to actually adhere to?
And what's approved.
And
what's
what
not
is it,
approved.
yeah, what is approved and what's not approved?
One-way street that I always thought was one-way.
Yes.
Still there was one.
Just asking. I think everyone thought that, and I had gotten a call. I don't think it was the 30th when Megan sent me this email, but maybe the 29th, saying that someone had called V-Trans asking about the signage, because it is there is a stop sign.
Yeah.
Playhouse saying stop. We always use it as a one-way. He did say that, in the email, that V-Trans will put in order for the new signs on the north end of the park at the intersection with 100, and they'll be installing them as soon as they're available. The town is responsible for purchasing and installing signs discussed below at the other end of the park.
We used to have a one-way street sign at this end and stop sign. And sometime along, they just plain disappeared. People didn't think they were like.
So there's not a stop sign there
I
either?
think it's, I think I'm gonna put it back in.
It's not out there.
Not a one-way
Oh, it's
sign.
not?
Need a stop sign.
So, if you want to put the signs out there, I myself, I think there's just too many signs in the whole town as it is. I'm not in favor
Well,
of more signs in town, and I can see the signs on the upper end, because somebody who isn't paying attention drives up there and drives right out into somebody, and we don't have stop signs here, we could be liable. Where if that stupid stop sign is sitting there, even though the traffic ain't supposed to go that way, I myself, I think we would be covered, because I have seen people drive up to there.
They have, but again, because there's also no one-way sign there, right? No one-way.
So there will be a one-way sign by the Playhouse, or right by the
And I believe it's
museum there. which
Yeah,
will say
one-way
that-
sign has to be down on this end.
So then we are responsible for putting a one-way sign on this end.
Like a do not enter kind of, right?
Yeah.
Like right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she offered some pictures of what we're
Yeah,
supposed
this
to.
is what I'm, do not enter, but
Yeah.
that's occupation.
Yeah,
Which, you know,
I
it's
think we should
ugly,
do it.
but, right, no, I'm saying it's ugly, but
Because I think that's very, what's the word? Encouraging. I mean, yes, there's an arrow on the street,
you don't see that.
but you don't necessarily see that, and it looks like as you're
don't see
driving,
that.
it looks like you should just go right up there past blah, 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 blah.
It absolutely does.
So I think we should have a do not under sign right there.
How many are we gonna put up?
7.
Do we have to make a motion for that?
And one of those flashing lights.
I
How does
think a
that work?
flashing one, yeah, would be nice.
Your zoning says no flashing.
They're coming in, excuse me.
Right, the zoning
They're not
regulations.
designed here.
Well, so that's the question. We have one
Ugly, but-
here.
but necessary.
Do we have to put one here too?
That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
What am I missing? I can't.
We have,
see
I
that.
have, you know, I see, I see.
Sorry,
it,
thank you.
I see
It was in-
during
it was in
events
tonight's
when it's
packet.
Busy and, you know, when
I
someone
wasn't
doesn't
trying
know
to be
what's going
smart.
on.
I
just-
was, I'm sorry.
They may
No,
not
it's
really have-
fine.
You guys are both so smart.
You gotta have a little humor.
Exactly. Well, I think if you're gonna put the one up, you probably have to put the other one up, don't you?
Well, we
You
do
need
one
one
side,
there.
right?
You sort of need one there too for somebody coming down Lawrence Hill Road.
Oh, because they might think about.
And then go up
Lord,
that
that's
way.
ugly. And then we're putting it on. Property, is that ours? We have a few feet in, right?
We have, right,
Right away.
Yeah.
Make motion, how many signs you want to purchase?
I move we put 2 signs up, one on each arm of the Y
I
for
second.
Park Street. One-way signs, or do not enter signs, sorry.
And they're doing the other side, you said, right?
Yes, they're doing the other end. Why are they not doing this end?
Because we're not. I think because of.
Well, it's a state highway, gotcha. We have a motion, Katie, you second?
I did, I second it.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Just a quick question. For me,
Mm-hmm.
do I have to figure out who to buy these signs from?
Jeff does.
Okay.
How's that?
But you have to
Jeff
put them
left.
up.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think this next one is our bivouac. I think this one belongs to the ladies. Green.
I was wondering about that.
Is the
Yeah,
fountain part of the green?
We've had discussions before, and some people just stepped up and done,
So-
but,
Mark and Jeff have been stepping up planting in there for years, but it.
but you know what?
But it doesn't drain, so the plants go out.
I thought that, actually, when I first heard about plants and that thing, Joanne Prouty was doing it as a Lady of the Green.
I
So
don't know.
I
They've
think the
been doing
Ladies
it
of the
for-
Green used to do it, but
I wonder why, when that changed. I don't know the history.
I don't know,
We just
but I
know
think-
from Jeff.
well, why don't we do this? Why don't we have Shauna ask the ladies of the green if the fountain is on their, under their jurisdiction, and explain what's wanted, and we'll discuss it at the next meeting.
That sounds brilliant, beautiful.
On the list.
We can beat that one to death for a long time.
Yep.
well, I would also like to know who's gonna continue to feed it with their hose. If it starts
If the
getting
water
run
starts to
dry,
evaporate, yeah.
it just says
Yep.
occasional refills using a hose when necessary. It doesn't say who's gonna use that hose. Next
Green
one.
Mountain Power's getting into our pocketbooks more, that's all this notice is.
Yep.
Well, I have a question. Why are you we're receiving this notice as a board?
Just.
Came in with the bill. Green
Okay,
Mountain Power.
and the bill for the bill.
Here, the town
It's an
garage.
FYI, just so that we
Okay.
as the representative town government know what's happening to our constituents.
Right, so we're not obligated to put this out. They're going to put it out to their customers is what I wanted to make sure that
Oh,
that's.
good, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They are, right?
We only
They have
came
to.
with the bill.
Okay,
It was
oh,
just
so it went to
an
everybody.
insert, Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
I just
Just
sent
wanted
it
to make sure
around.
there wasn't
No,
either that which would be inappropriate. Okay, got it.
there's another one in the latest bill that invites you to an open house on September 3rd, but I didn't circulate that one.
Did you see where it
Free
was
drinks?
being held?
Yeah, but I don't remember where. Where was it?
St. John's Church,
Oh.
Where is
Where
it?
is it?
St. John's there. Well,
Yeah, great. Are there free drinks though?
I could be, just don't drink and drive.
Exactly.
Coca-Cola.
Mm. So this is about updating flood sorry,
It's about,
flood hazard bylaw updates.
Yeah, there's some funding out there for,
yeah, but there's funding and opportunity for flood hazard bylaws.
it looks like the what has a group, I'm sorry, we haven't got any for them.
It's not the Weston
Oh,
Flood
this is-
Recovery Committee, it's a different group.
Oh, is it?
It's
Okay.
the planning commission, I think.
It's another redo, like the town plan, the zoning bylaws, and now flood. Hazard.
So the planning commission is in favor of us taking advantage of this
Yes. They were.
grant, which will cost the town no money to help us update our flood hazard bylaws.
pay attention to the very last sentence on the first
The
page.
town could also choose to do 2 separate hearings and adoption processes. That,
So if this is gonna take place, the 2 hearings, for example, I don't know on this one what the days ahead of time you have to do the warning thing. Here we are, the middle of August, and they're saying this is, she's gonna complete all her work by December, and she doesn't specify a time. So just be on the safe side, you got November, October, and September, and half of August. If you're gonna have 2 separate hearings on this,
We need
the
to,
planning commissioner or somebody's gonna have to get on the stick, because it takes time to.
well,
Yeah.
it looks like, as I read this, I would complete all my work by December and have the zoning bylaw amendments ready for public hearing and adoption, wrapping up the flood hazard work. So she would have drafts of those amendments ready for a public hearing. That it doesn't have to be done, she'd be done by December with those drafts, but the hearing and adoption doesn't have to happen by December. At least that's the way I read it, but maybe that's wrong.
is
No,
there,
I don't interpret everything
Is-
correctly all the
yeah.
time.
is
Well,
there,
neither
a-
do I, so there we go.
is there a time limit on this?
I don't know the answer, I can ask, Matt, I just, December, January, or February, March are very busy for us.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe you could ask Matt, this question, discrepancy between, about the interpretation of this. Does this mean we would have to have the meetings by December, or we just get the draft amendments by then, which would be available for hearings after?
I would like to
December,
go
potentially.
about it, I'm sorry for interrupting, I'd like to go about it the same way that we're gonna do the zoning, section by section, as they have them. Just going through the town plan, it was a lot, we got it all at once at the end,
Yeah, yeah.
Photographic memory.
so it was a lot for us.
How was yours?
And I think if we all work cohesively,
Brand new. Oh.
Piece by
one
piece.
chapter, piece by piece, it might be a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yep.
So you'll talk with Matt about
Yes.
that? Great, thank you.
See, we're gonna go here to,
Oh, these are the minutes? We done the
Oh,
minutes?
yeah.
Yeah.
Meeting minutes. So July 22nd, I did the changes on the last part
About the-
about the broadband communication.
Yep.
That should be all set, and then just the new,
So do we want to do these together? I move we approve the minutes of July 22nd as
Second.
amended.
Second.
Discussion.
the latest meeting.
Yeah, so I have some,
Oh, I apologize.
what's wrong?
I just said the wrong date.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, no.
I have a couple of things on this. On number 7.
Sorry.
Wait a minute, I'm looking at the wrong ones.
It's confusing.
Wait, July 22nd. So oops,
That's what I mean, July 8th is the one that I just corrected.
oh, so I'm sorry,
I said it wrong.
I have some corrections on the 22nd one, which we just approved.
No, did we just approve the 22nd or just the 8th?
No, we
22nd.
just.
So we just approved the 22nd, sorry about that.
And that's.
I got
We
you.
should have just approved July 8th. That is the corrections that I made.
Okay, so we just approved,
Okay.
can we just change that?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, so on
Now
the
we can look at our
22nd,
most recent ones, July 22nd. I did it when printing them out.
we're all
the other
gonna
day.
get
I was like,
arrested.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here's the broadband, yeah.
Okay, so on the July 22nd minutes, number 7. Motion, Jim Linville moved to approve the meeting minutes. Can we designate which meeting minutes those are?
Yes.
Is that, oh, July.
Number 7, so that would have been number, which was July 8th. Those are the July
Yeah.
8th meetings. Okay,
That's in this,
and then on number 14, old and new business. Dennis Johnson reported that Jeff Earsha did not support using Route 155 as a town burn site. I think using the town land on Route 155 or using our whatever
Not just the
property.
whole highway.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
I think we want to probably burn the whole highway.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Tara would be okay.
Got it.
Not the whole highway.
And then I also have something about personnel,
Mhm.
the motions for that. Because my recollection was that we were not just asking for a compensation discussion with Jeff, but because he wasn't here, we were also asking for his opinion about hiring these guys. So it wasn't just about compensation, it was also about approving the hiring.
Yeah, because it was pertaining to conversation with him.
Right.
I can rewatch that. Rewatch the minutes and see. And then I'll get them back.
Okay.
Right, so now we have, so 15.
Three-week payroll.
Motion to approve $14,229.31. Rest all 15.
I second.
It's payroll really, but discussion on it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Kim, do you have some things for me to sign, by the way? Cause I haven't been here in 2 weeks.
But we haven't had a payroll in 3.
Okay, thank you.
We did it, yeah.
Nope, Brian.
Which is this? Wow. I signed
Where's the
it.
payroll?
Oh, sorry about that.
So-
Oh, yeah, it's just Jen who hasn't signed it, so that goes back to you.
Accounts payable. We are at $61,408.19.
Move, we approve.
Second,
Questions, discussions?
Who needed the earplugs? Just questioning, just wondering, was it a
I'm sure it was the
road
garage,
person?
yeah.
Yeah, right.
We got
Um,
400.
I'm sorry,
earplugs?
400
Yeah, there's
earplugs?
2 boxes of.
That
Yeah,
should hold them
I
for
was
a
gonna say
while.
that was an awfully expensive purchase of earplugs.
I'm sure they're the little squishy things that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They're
the
so
ones they
helpful, though.
push in the ear.
The foam.
If you get a day out, you're lucky.
Oh, I'll bet, yeah.
They don't share.
They don't wash and dry the best.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyway,
And then the devil.
Them up and then fire them.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
What is it? I'm sorry. Advantage there, yeah.
That's 3 weeks worth.
There's a question, the excavating, when they're doing the crushed gravel and the backbone of gravel stone. What gravel are they crushing? Where's this?
The pit
Oh,
crushes it.
okay. I missed.
You just got signed on the second
Right.
page here.
My bad.
Here you go, Kim.
How are you? Oh,
Anything under old business?
Just a quick review, I still only have 1 bid for the furnace. I reached out to a couple people with no response. I do have 2 bids for the generator contract for HP and then Gary's generator company.
Right.
Submitted something, I was waiting, for one other person that I had reached out to. I haven't heard back, but I can put that on the agenda if you want, for the next meeting.
We'll have to make a decision one way or the other regardless of how many bids you got on 26 for the furnace.
I was also gonna put on, the new fuel bid form, cause I'd like to get that out as well.
the form that you're gonna put out for the fuel bids.
Yeah.
Okay.
We usually send to like 3 or 4 vendors to get for the season.
Okay.
The way you treated us last year, I guess you would say the one we had last year.
Sorry?
I say the way we got treated last year, I would just say stay with the one we had last year.
The way the way we got treated.
Yeah,
In a positive way, you mean.
give us a price and he never hit that price. It was always low.
Oh,
Okay.
That's great.
let's go with him.
Yeah.
Well, meeting's adjourned. See you on the 26th.
Yeah, 26th. And you wanted to talk to me briefly. Okay.
Gretchen, thanks for hanging.
Recording stopped. That was interesting.
Really?
Well, yeah. Well, it's not the payroll stuff, but
This is the
You know,
comments,
I-
the discussion.
yeah.
Yeah.